Let's talk about it, right? So, what if all the sleep tips aren't possible at the same time? Will the other ones still help? Um, One of the things that I did when my twins were born, I was able to take 6 weeks off because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you have a disability policy through work, check that disability policy to see what maternity coverage looks like on your disability policy, depending on whether or not you have a vaginal or C-section birth, because mine had disability coverage. My boss didn't want me to know that, did not disclose that to me, neither did HR, but I read the policy. So I knew that I had disability coverage for maternity leave. So I was able to take 6 weeks off, and they can't, because they offer that insurance, they can't say anything about it. And one of the things that I did as a brand new mom, because I already struggled with insomnia, was that every time those babies slept, twins, I slept. I told the nurses while one was in the NICU, one was in my room. We had 5 days at the hospital. They will be on the same schedule when we leave this hospital. End of story. We will spend the next 5 days getting them on the same exact schedule. End of story. So when the babies slept, I slept for at least 90 minutes. And literally, when I went in for my 6 week checkup, everyone in the office was like, "You're the most well rested mom, let alone mother of twins, we've ever seen. What are you doing?" And my only advice to new moms is sleep when they sleep. Even if that means that you have to hire in care in that first 6 weeks so that you can sleep when they sleep. Hire in someone to clean the house, to do the dishes, to whatever, to take care of your toddler, and sleep when they sleep. Because let's face it, new moms are some of the most sleep deprived people you will ever meet. The other things: prioritize your cortisol management, because that is going to prioritize your melatonin management, which means the number one piece of advice on there to get 30 grams of protein within the first hour you're awake is the number one thing to focus on, right? Because that sets your cortisol tone for the day. And then the not having caffeine until you've been awake for 2 hours literally sets your cortisol tone for the day, which sets your melatonin tone for the day. The one most people struggle with, and this is even one that I struggle with, and it's very unfortunate, is that I don't have a chance to get 40 minutes in natural sunlight every day before 10 a.m., and that kind of sucks for me. My goal is to get 10 to 15 minute increments throughout the day, but also know that after about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm wearing glasses that block blue light. If I'm driving in my car and it's before 2 p.m., there are no sunglasses on my face. When I was trying to repair insomnia, the devices went away when it got dark. Literally, when I walked in the house, my phone went on a charger upstairs and I didn't touch it. The only thing it got used for between the time I walked in my home and the time I woke up the next morning was my alarm clock. That was it. The blue light level from your phone, your iPad, your television to a lesser degree, but more so since they've all become OLED screens, is so disruptive to melatonin production that it will disrupt your sleep. So when you're talking about what are the things that I can do, protein first thing in the morning with a meal that is a decent size, literally 30 grams of protein, 6 ounces of vegetables, 4 ounces of fruit, and maybe a healthy fat and a starch at that meal if you can tolerate that. But no caffeine until after you've been awake for 2 hours, because that's when you want like that boost in your cortisol, because you don't need it later in the day, and you certainly don't need it in the first 30 minutes you're awake. You don't, because that's when your cortisol is spiking anyway. And then the sunlight thing. You want natural sunlight on your skin, on your face. And again, it's not something I get to do all the time. It's something I prioritize in 10 to 15 minute increments. It's okay to go outside of your building and take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. It's okay to do that. It's okay to move for 10 to 15 minutes after you eat a meal. It's okay to do that. It's perfectly fine to disconnect from the world the minute you walk in your door. And those are the things that you need to prioritize if you're going to prioritize sleep correction. Which means if you're going to prioritize your health, you need to prioritize sleep correction. End of story. You can be doing all the other things. If you are not sleeping, you will not hit your goals. When you read all of the things on longevity, all of the things on health, sleep, community, biggest things, sleep and community. In all of the blue zones, community even outweighs smoking as a marker for longevity. And sleep is the number 2 thing. So just consider, how important is it to me to correct my sleep?